Welcome to the Hub. Welcome to the Hub, and welcome to Edmonton, Alberta. We're here at a local cultural arts center, Sun and Moon Visionaries Aboriginal Artisan Society. I'm here with the executive producer, Jarrett. Tell me a little bit about your place here.
Well, we have an art studio here. We have a gallery, we have dance studios, and we're here to help emerging artists to get established in the community and really build themselves up and get to know who they are. And what we try to do is we bring in artists that are at the top of the game. So Glenn Nipshank has a studio here. We do a program called Sacred Self, and part of Sacred Self is bringing in an artist that's established himself, has a great career going, and he can connect with the artist at a level that's really high end with his art, but he also has a good business model that he can share with the artist.
And can you tell me about this piece right here?
Sure, this work's actually by Glenn Nipshank from Slave Lake, Alberta, but he has lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico for 20 plus years, and he learned some low fire techniques from the Hopi Pueblo people, and then he kind of made it his own. And so that piece here represents the four directions, but it also has an element of the sun dances that are part of our community. Glenn was the winner of the Santa Fe, New Mexico Indian Art Market this year, first place for some of his work.
So you got everything from pottery to paintings to beadwork to vests to leather work to carvings.
Our main method here with working with the artists isn't to say you can or cannot do anything. Whatever art style they do, we want to bring it in. And this dance studio, we designed to be a fun, energetic room, and we really put this together so that the artist can have a place that's strong within their heart, and they know that they can come and do whatever type of dance they want and bring that to light. So all our instructors are Aboriginal, First Nations, Métis, and we encourage that they teach whatever they want to teach. And now some of them are doing different things like Zumba and boot camps here, so that, you know, to show fitness is a really positive thing.
Yeah.
And dance is such a positive thing for people, and for these artists, they've been able to be a part of awesome shows across the world and videos, and they know that if they keep their lives and keep their dreams strong, they can achieve what they want. We got this from one of our elders.
Oh, wow.
So we use it for storage of some of our sacred stuff, but yeah, this is from BC, obviously you know that. Mm-hmm. So that's the one thing we really try to promote here is the cultural identity of ourselves here. And that's one of the great things is we really try to tell artists, if you're Métis or First Nations, whatever nation you come from, to know who you are as a person of that nation, or if you're learning about who you are as a person of that nation, to really look at it and thrive. Mm-hmm. You have to look at it and say, where's the beauty in our culture? You know, where do I see myself fitting in?
At the same time, you got graffiti art as well, contemporary art. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So emerging artists in music as well?
Absolutely. We have a safe down here, and we converted it into a music studio. Wow. And sound dampening is happening in here. So some of the recording happens here, and they make some beautiful music out of this place. This is one of our training spaces for the artists, so that the artists can come in, set up their band, record their band, do some different things in here. That our DJ workshops usually happen down here. So the whole city of Edmonton started down here, and that's why our Aboriginal community is really excited to be down in this building and be able to set up teepees down here. Because Sundances used to happen just across the road from us here, right by the river. And when the fur trade was happening, the first forts of Edmonton happened on this plain. So up in this training room, Glenn has been actually has a studio in the other room. And this is some of the work Glenn's working on right now for a show in New York City. And as you can see, his work is just masterful. You know, our communities across the world are, opening up. Art is one of the healthiest, most stable things that a community can look back and rely on. If a community is thriving, it's because they looked at themselves and said, who are we? What are we good at? And then they go after it and they say, oh, we're really good at making pottery. So their community starts doing pottery together, and the community starts to heal. And that's hopefully what we're trying to do here, is really work towards artist healing or community healing, and showing the next generations that this is the next step to who we are as people, so that people can understand, we can share with each other through art, so they get a little bit of a glimpse of who we are. And it's not a closed system, now it's an opening system. You're welcoming everybody to be a part of this system and to be a part of this community, which is beautiful. I think our art in our community is magnificent. There's nothing like it in the world.
Well, Jarrett, man, it's been cool checking out your place here. You guys got a lot of good stuff going on. So thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming.
Sun and Moon Visionaries, Aboriginal Artisan Society. We're here in Edmonton, Alberta with Helen Callahasen, the Executive Director of the Dreamspeakers Festival Society. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, in 1999, 2000, I was with a group of people that decided to resurrect this festival, and we've been going ever since. We're a festival that has grown yearly, and we've had many, many guests over these years. Always wonderful to see the people that come to visit our festival.
And you're from Edmonton?
I am. Originally, I come from Gruard, Alberta, which is on the tip of the Lesser Slave Lake here in Alberta. Okay. And it's a very small community. It was a Métis community, and
So you're Woodland Cree, or?
I'm Woodland Cree, and I do speak my native tongue.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I speak Cree. For the most part, my mother and father spoke Cree to us.
So very traditional.
Yeah, I think so. And I try to keep it alive with my children. I think, learning the language, is important.
Yeah.
Certainly cultural traditions, in terms of spirituality and I mean, just enjoying all that it has to offer.
So how did you get involved with film and the arts?
There was a fellow by the name of Will Campbell who one year asked me to do a hosting of a national episodic series, and I said, gee, I'm not sure that I want to do that. And he says, well, showed me a little figure, and he says, you could make this. And I said, wow, I'll take that. so I did it. I looked at the episodes when they were on television, and I went, oh my goodness, we're so critical of ourselves. And I thought, I've got to learn how to do this better. So I started taking some classes, and before I was done, I had an agent who said, listen, I'd like to represent you. What do you think of that? And I said, fabulous. So after that, I started getting into some auditions, and then I thought, as time went on, I had heard about Dreamspeakers and had been around here for a lot of years, and I thought I'd like to get, doing that sort of stuff. And with that phone call in 1999, wanting somebody to take it on, I think that's when it propelled me to say, okay, let's start a new chapter and let's see where this takes you. And I think filmmakers in general our people are starting to become more and more filmmakers, and it's nice because they're telling the stories, and those are the stories that I really want to be involved in, are the ones that have a history of where we come from, and for me it's one of the better things that I enjoy.
And that's really what Dreamspeakers is all about. Right?
Well, Dreamspeakers, absolutely. We want our filmmakers to tell their stories. And then we want to be able to showcase their stories. So when they come to our festival, we want the audience not to just be Aboriginal. We want them to be from all walks of life. And really, a lot of the time, the work is so fabulous. The stories that they tell in the way that they do it is really exciting.
And some of the programs within the festival, DOT, tell me a little bit about that.
Dreamspeakers on Tour is our baby. We love it. It's about youth, for youth, and really a way for them to express a lot of their issues that they deal with, because it's whatever issue that they want to film is basically what they do. And these youth range from 14 to 24. and they come from varied backgrounds. So they've, it makes it very challenging but interesting as well. They end up with a 5 to 10 minute video or work, I'll call it, and it gets entered into our festival, and it gets entered into other festivals. So for them, they're first-time filmmakers. That's what we call them. Yeah.
And you guys began in what, 93?
Yep, we've been in existence since 1993 as a society.
You guys recognize some of the greats. I mean, like the picture here.
Yes. Well, 2005 was our very first year that we inducted into our Walk of Honor. Our Walk of Honor is something that we're very proud of, because the Walk of Honor is really about trailblazers. It's about those who broke into this industry and pave the way for people that want to be in this industry. It's actually a Cree word called Niganawak, and it's really what it means is the ones that walk before you and they blaze that trail for you, so they break the trail.
Niganawak.
Niganawak. And because a lot of people couldn't say Niganawak, we do call it Walk of Honor. So it's here within the city of Edmonton. Every year we induct people into there, and they have to be a part of us within the ceremony and getting these plaques in there. It's really an honor for these people that are inducted, because they're recognized for the work that they've done.
And the festival, tell me a little about the events going on during the week. When is it? And
well, it's always in the first week of June. And we start with an opening night. And then, we have many events that happen throughout the festival.
Well, I hope I can make it out.
I hope you come. I mean, certainly the invitation is out there for you guys to come.
I'm going to check it out, though.
Okay, well, thanks.
Thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to be here.
Well, thank you.
Alan Kalahazy. So we're here at Niganawak, Aboriginal Walk of Honor. It's kind of a memorial to recognize people who have done things in Indigenous film and the arts. August Schellenberg, Mohawk from Montreal, Quebec. Chantu Cardinal, Métis, Fort McMurray, Alberta. Gil Cardinal, Métis. The late Gordon Tatusis, who's Cree. Willie Dunn, Micmac and Scottish. So we're here in Edmonton, Alberta. Got a chance to meet up with Dakota House. Dakota, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, like you said, my name is Dakota House. Some people know me as an actor. I've been in the film industry over 20 some odd years, but in the last 7, 8 years, I've taken a break from the film industry and focused my energy on working with the youth all over North America. Started a program, program's called Going Miles. MILES is an acronym for Motivate, Inspire, Lead, Empower, Succeed. MILES. You know, I looked at some of the skills that I had to offer and brought them together, the martial arts, film and television, theater arts, and developed a program that's interactive, allowing the youth to tap into their natural talents and abilities, giving them the opportunity to see their life, their words come to life before their very eyes.
How did you get into that? I mean,
well, early in my film career, I started doing public appearances. And doing the public appearances, I saw that there was a huge drive and a huge demand for workshops. I got to see a few people doing workshops and got the opportunity to see and to participate as well. Like this computer day and age, this much music day and age that we live in right now, you know, bullying, drugs and alcohol, all of that stuff is just off the hook. And, you know, when you are taught one thing, you sort of follow the example that is set for you, right? So by giving them a new example and giving them that new train of thought, you know, everything just sort of evolved to where I am right now.
Most people know you from North of 60. I mean, it was a big hit in the 90s, big show. You had a lead role on there. That's something that's, you use that attention to help you do what you do with the kids now?
Oh, absolutely. Well, the kids, see, when I first started facilitating, when I first started Going Miles, seriously facilitating and working with the kids, you know, because I mean, when I was doing public appearances, I was a kid myself, you know, I was just like hanging out and wanting to see what it was all about. But the children now,
Uh-huh.
they haven't seen North of 60, but their parents have seen North of 60. So I wanted to be like the best facilitator that they ever saw. And I tell you, by the end of the workshop, we're taking pictures. They want autographs. They don't even know that I'm an actor.
That's what's up.
Yeah, then when I tell them that I'm an actor, they're like, holy cow. Like some of the material that I bring, right? Some of the equipment, strike pads and stuff like that.
The MMA is a big thing now.
Oh,
so,
yeah. I mean, I'm jumping up and I'm doing these kicks like 7 feet up there, and the kids are just like, whoa. So gets their attention right away, and you know, it allows me to make that connection with them, to be able to pass on the teachings and the knowledge where they can benefit most from it.
Yep.
You know, like some facilitators, you see, they stand on stage, they talk for hours and hours.
Yep.
You know, the kids, they get tuned out and
You gotta interact,
gotta
interact with them.
Absolutely, you need to make that connection right
Yep.
away. Once you make that connection, you know, it's so much easier for them to understand and to learn, and again, to benefit from the teachings.
Mm-hmm.
I travel with Scott Ward quite a bit, and Scott Ward is a
hypnotist, right?
hypnotist. Yeah, man, he's probably one of the best that I've seen. And
He's First Nations as well?
he is. Yeah,
Right on.
man, that's right. We got some of the best out there. That's right. So working with Scott, we do video dance parties, hypnosis shows for the entire community. I'll put a play together with the youth and have a performance at the end of 3 days, ready for the entire community to come in and, you know, showcase the talent that the kids learn.
You're obviously an actor, a director, a spokesperson, motivational speaker,
Writer.
writer. You know, what would you say is the most rewarding of all those?
Oh, you didn't mention father.
Oh yeah, father. Yeah, there you go. You got 4 kids.
What can I say? You know, being a dad's got to be the most rewarding. Seeing your kids grow up and seeing yourself in them. You know, again, like I was saying just a little earlier there, the example that is set is the example that we lead by, and that's the example that they follow.
How does being a father help you work with other youth, and how does working with other youth help you as a father? I mean, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do. Well, being a facilitator working with youth, I'm able to pass on the teachings as a father. And the same thing. And when I look at the kids, you know, I think of them as my kids, and that's the way that's
it's genuine, it's authentic.
Absolutely,
Coming
man.
from the heart.
We need to look at that as a whole. You know, it takes an entire community to raise one child, and what's going on is that totally has been broken down here in the 20th century. You know, I mean,
that's the thing. When I growing up, and I used to see a speaker come to the school every once in a while, and a lot of times they would just be preaching, and then pretty soon after a while you're kind of sitting there, you're like, oh man, I can't wait till the class is out, and I gotta get out of here. You know? That's good that it comes from the heart. So it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the kids can see right through that, and if you're not real, you know, they're not going to get anything out of it. The only thing they're going to get out of it is, you know, rest time, because they're going to shut you down and they're going to close their eyes. They're going to take a nap.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, back to the acting thing. Been doing that for 23 years. You've won a couple awards. You know, been nominated for a Gemini Award. Nominated for an Ampy Award, a YTV Award. You've won a Best Actor Award through the Dreamspeakers Festival. What's that? Well, on a personal level, what does that feel like to be recognized for your art?
It's cool because I love what I do. You know, when you love what you do, winning awards is a bonus, I guess. It says to me that my peers are looking and watching and seeing that, hey, this guy is doing awesome. Let's honor him with an award. I've won Best Actor Award for Ampy as well, Alberta Motion Picture Industry Award. Through the Geminis, I've been nominated numerous times. I've been on the cover of TV Guide a few times, and you know what? I'm just humble. I'm just happy where I am.
You're using that in a good way. You're using that attention you get from that to work with the youth.
Like, I'm getting letters from some of the youth who I've worked with 4 or 5 years ago saying, hey, Dakota, I'm in university, or I'm in college now, or I finished school now, and this is what I'm doing. And
that's awesome, man. It's always good to get that feedback from somebody that you've influenced.
So gratifying. so gratifying, and you know, it's like, man, I'm making a difference. I'm doing it. But I go to a lot of ceremony as well, right? And ceremony, I've been told this is the path and the journey that I'm supposed to be on. So I look at my film career, and my film career has been a vehicle for me to get me to where I need to be.
How does that help you deal with, I mean, like, obviously growing up, you had to deal with peer pressure like everybody else.
Right.
That's a strong component in our lives as Native people.
Right.
I mean, that very helps a lot, you know? It's like, I know you got a role one time where you were in this show on CTV called Legends, which eventually screened at Sundance, about the Native youth that who struggled to preserve the culture in daily life. How do you identify with that role? How did you identify with that role?
Well, living in the city now, and so holding on to my culture and going to ceremony, you know, my friends respect that and they think it's really cool, but at the same time there's a lot of Aboriginal urban youth out there who have never been to ceremony, who don't know anything about their culture, and when something like that comes up, you know, they might think it's a little strange, a little like, man, that stuff don't work, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So I think it was easy for me to identify with that role. You know what? By the time I was in grade 4, I was voted least likely to succeed. Grade 4.
They had that poll?
Oh, man.
The least likely to succeed at grade 4.
That's like saying, you know what, you're going to grow up and you're not going to be
a failure.
You're going to be a failure in your life.
That's terrible.
It's like, but I use those words as ammunition to help build me up and say, you know what,
But at the same time, some kids are not going to use that ammunition. It's going to tear them down.
Well, you know what, and kids grow up being a product of their environment because they don't have that support. They don't have, you know, those positive affirmations. They don't have, you know, again, that support system. When they're hearing that garbage all the time, pretty soon that stuff starts sinking in, and that's what they believe. And I mean, again, it's important to have that support system and to believe in yourself and to know that you can do and you can be anything that you want in your life. Life is what you make it, not what it makes you. Because if I was gonna be what they thought I was gonna be, I'd be on Skid Row right now, pushing a cart, collecting bottles and stuff, you know? You know, like I see some of the friends that I grew up with who are out on the street. And I'm gonna tell you something, guys, straight up. Those were the guys that were too cool to go to school. They were into the partying and the drugs. That's, of course, led them to where they are today.
Yep. Obviously, sobriety is a big part of that. Tell me about that.
Huge part. Well, you know what? When I got into the film industry, I was 18 years old. You know, the drinking and all of that stuff was around me all the time, right? And little did I realize here, you know, with me drinking and everything and being this young man, I had a film career, I had a TV series, everything was going in, you know, in my favor. But with the drinking, that was, man, that was almost the, what do I say? I was at the top of the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was at the top of the bottom, and my film career almost ended a couple of times because of it. And again, the example that was set for me was, hey, it's okay, you're in the film industry, this is what we do here. It's not what we do here. It's what you decide to do here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So...
How'd you overcome that?
One day I just woke up.
Woke up.
Literally. Just woke up and went...
Snapped out of it.
I'm never drinking again. And it was over just like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's...
Just like that. Never went to AA, never went to treatment, never went to any of that stuff. I just woke up. And check this out. Very shortly into my sobriety, I was sitting at the table going, I wonder what I'm gonna do now. Let's see. And I was sitting at the computer, then bang, like a lightning bolt, I was hit right in the head. Boom! Going miles. Right after going miles, you know what came? The acronym: motivate, inspire, lead, empower, succeed. That fast. Boom, boom.
That's what's up, man.
Man, you know who was talking to me.
And that's kind of taking on his own shape of itself. And
yeah.
That's good, man.
Everything became so clear. I just knew. I knew what I had to do, and yeah, it was born in a way I went.
To me, like as a kid, I would think like that sounds like a lot of stuff. I could never be all that. But it doesn't happen overnight. You got to take it one day at a time.
No, and it's things that you like too.
Work hard every day.
Work hard every day. The things that you like.
You build it. You build it.
Yeah.
So
Life is what you make it.
right on, man. Well, it's been great to have you on the show.
Hey,
And,
brother.
I look forward to seeing more of your work and workshops and everything you do. It's a big inspiration.
Straight up, bro. You'll see me out there.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
All my brothers and sisters from other mothers and misters, send them some love. Work hard. Keep it real.
Dakota House. Thanks for joining us here on The Hub, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. So we're here outside of Edmonton, Alberta, in Enoch Reserve with Ashley Collingbull, Gordon Tatusis. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with him.
He was so wise. If he started speaking, you would just forget everything and just fall in love with what he was saying.
So we're here with director and actress Georgina Lightning.
The opportunity on Older Than America came for directing, and that's it. Now I found out what I want to do when I grow up.
I mean, you had some big names in there: Bradley Cooper, Adam Beach, yourself, your daughter,
Wes Studi and Dennis Banks.
Dennis Banks.
It was awesome.